Greetings in the name of the Most High. Okay, we are live today, and we are kind of late today because, as you know, we run a clinic, and if there are lots of people, the time we give might not come true. So you know how it is. Life is about disappointment sometimes. Okay, all right. Yesterday we had a live debate with Mr. Trevor Sears from Trinidad. You know what I mean? A lot of differences. But at the end of the day, everybody do what they have to do. And it's not about competition, because I don't go competition with nobody. I do my do and everybody else do their do. Whoever do the best and get the results, I will applaud that. And I support the next herbalist. That's how I function. Because we dealing with too much division. You know what I mean? And they have us on social media want to fight each other. I ain't into that. You know what I mean? Secondly, there is a few people who talking about, are those people training in medicine? Black people as usual. How come you don't ask the white man that? Eh? How come you don't sit down and ask the white man? You all go to him in the Caribbean and say to him, where's your studies? Where do you study? Ask Michael Tierra, Dr. Michael Tierra, where I studied. Ask Hotel Holder from Pacific Institute of Oriental Medicine. Shut over here, darling. Where I studied. You know what I mean? You know? All them people who have all them big plaque on their walls and all the big diploma on the walls and the PhD, they curing anything? They ain't curing nothing. But only black people gonna ask us these questions. Where they train and where they blah blah blah. Ask Dr. Michael Tierra where I train, and he will tell you. From Santa Cruz, California. Okay? Alright? Next thing again, because I said I work with doctors, this specific person gonna say, well, doctors guide you. Oh sure. I ain't scared to come and say doctors might guide me. I have a nephew who is a cardiologist. He is trained in the heart. He guides me, and I guide him with herbal medicine. So what? Who guide who? Ain't nothing about who guide who. We all work together, man. All right, you know, I think this black people, you have to start to learn to stop trying to put us against each other. And then the next man come and you all ask him nothing, and he take your money and run away with it and do something that's all messed up. You know what I mean? So ask Dr. Michael Tierra where I trained. Ask Hotel Holder from Pacific Institute of Oriental Medicine where I train. All right? Wonderful. You all have the white man there. Okay. Now today we're going to talk about parasites and parasitic infection. You understand? Because I am getting my people well. And then somebody said about there's no cure for cancer. Oh yeah? How come there's no cure for cancer? Because the man making you all feel there's no cure for nothing. But you all, the people, the lies been told to you all for so long. 1 million lies. So when a man like me come and speak the truth, and Dr. Sebi come and speak the truth, you all call us, yeah, there's no cure for nothing. Because that's what the man said to you all, there's no cure. There is a cure for cancer. There is a cancer patient we have who had uterine cancer, took chemotherapy, cancer came back to her liver, cancer went to her lungs, she's still living today after 8 years, cancer free. There is a brother, Chalky Ventu, your looking brother. Cancer, prostate cancer for how many years? Before he came back to Grenada. He's cancer free now after 14 years. So how are you all saying cancer can't fix? Because that's what they're making you all believe, that nothing can fix. So the pharmaceutical companies got to get rich in the process. Wonderful. You know, let's talk like a vex, but I ain't vex it. Don't forget. Alright, now we're going to talk about parasitic infection and how we're going to get rid of parasites. Because there are different type of parasites and the different type of worms we call it. And you know what a parasite is? When somebody come into your house and they're munching off of you all day, all night, years and years, they ain't got no job, and they're eating all your food, and they're just munching off of you, you call them a parasite. Right? It's the same principle that the parasite or the worm do in your system. They live off of you. And they give you symptoms, which is going to tell you what you're going to talk about. And when they give you symptoms, you might think you're sick, but you're not sick because you're just infested with parasites. Yeah? All right. Come over here. That's where they at. That's where they start. Now, I do not like to walk barefooted because barefooted people pick up parasite regularly. Don't forget that. Little children who walk outside barefooted, don't forget I told you all that, they pick up parasites faster because the parasites come into the heel of their feet and get into the lung and travel into the intestine right over here. And once he get over here in your intestines, he start to cause havoc in the earth because we call the intestine the earth system. All right? We're here to teach our people. You understand? And we want you to learn because I might be here for long. I don't know what's going to happen. So I want you all to pick up all the information and pass it on to somebody else, to your children, and they could teach each other. That's what it's all about. It's not about no money and who want to get rich and stuff. It's not about that. It's about teaching our people to stay healthy instead of getting sick. All right? Because we just had a call from New York with a brother from Jamaica, again, cancer in his belly. The tumor is the size of a watermelon. Our people from the Caribbean is dying from cancer in America. You understand? So we have to learn and teach our people how to prevent the disease. That's what it's all about. Who say I'm talking rough? That's all good. I'm going to talk rough because a lot of us only know roughness. You know what I'm saying? How we learn. All right. So the parasites stick in the intestines because it comes through your feet if you're walking barefooted, especially people who wear sandals in the Caribbean. Okay? Because over here it's so hot, we wear a lot of sandals and we walk barefooted over here. Alright? I don't walk barefooted outside because we can pick up parasites. Right? We can pick up parasites from the foods we eat. We can pick up parasites or get parasites from having an amount of food sitting in the earth system and putrefying and fermenting and causing parasites to form in here. Because as you know, if you put a piece of meat outside and you leave that meat outside for 3 days, you're going to see worms. See, that's a common sense thing. I talk with common sense. When you have food sitting inside here for a long period of time and you're not going to the bathroom properly, you're going to pick up parasites. You're going to invite them. And once you invite them, they will start to cause havoc in your system. And when they start to cause havoc, they could cause you to get a disease long term. All right? Because cancer can cause you to get a tumor in your brain. Don't forget I told you that. Let them skeptics know that too. All right? Now, so when we are repairing parasites, if it's not in the brain, or if it is not lodged in your lung to give you a cough, we come over here and we do a parasitic cleanse. And a parasitic cleanse goes around the full moon. Don't forget I told you all that. And we don't use Zentel, because Zentel only deal with pinworms. We're going to show you the herbs that kill any kind of parasite in your body, because there's over 3,500 parasites. You understand? Roaming around. Well, we're going to teach you how to use a certain amount of herbs that will kill any one of them that infests your intestines, your lungs, or your brain. All right? So, when we're going to clean, we remove them suckers, we call them, or parasites, when you use the word in the medical system, we are going to use herbs to remove them. Now, the only problem is, though, some parasites get caught in the walls of your colon, especially the parasites from your pork and your beef and your barbecue pork and all these barbecue foods you eat on a regular basis, especially the pork parasite. It comes and it joins up into the intestinal tract and it hooks on like that in your intestines, and it causes havoc there. And what it does, it start to suck your blood. So you become anemic. And the doctor give you some trihemic and all these kind of blood pills, but you don't know that the parasite is sucking your blood because it sticks on to your intestines and pull and affects your mucous membranes and cause havoc in your intestines. And then the troubles leave from your intestines and it goes where? Come over here. It goes to the stomach, the next part of the earth system. And when the stomach cannot handle the parasitic infection, because you're not eating the foods that help you to move them out, it goes straight to where? To your lung. And it goes straight to where? To your brain. And then you get a brain tumor. Let's come back over here. Your hand is shaking. Wonderful. Now, before we go into the parasites, we're going to talk about flavors. Because lots of people in the Caribbean run away from the flavors now. And flavors are very significant. All right? Now, we have 5 flavors that we deal with. We have the sweet flavor. And don't forget, we said that sweet goes up and out. Because you have to burn sugar as fuel. If you don't burn the sugar as fuel, you're going to have lots of troubles with your system, especially in your digestive system and your adipose tissues, and with diabetes. So sweet is one of the flavors that we use, and it goes up and out, meaning that you're going to burn it as fuel, because sugar is more found in your brain. Then you have the sour flavor, and the sour flavor affects your liver in a positive way. All right? And although some of these flavors are very acid, we like to mix them with some of the subacids or the alkaline foods to cause them to have a positive effect on this particular organ called the liver. Because sour flavors affect the liver, and sour, when you eat a lot of sour stuff, it not only affects your liver in a positive way, it also deals with your flaccid tissues to prevent you from becoming wrinkled or causing wrinkles under your eyes. That is the purpose of the sour stuff, sour flavor. All right? It protects your liver, and it also prevents wrinkles. Yeah. It also prevents wrinkles, and it also keeps the flaccid tissues healthy. Don't forget that now. So don't run from the sour stuff, okay? And then we have the bitter stuff. And the bitter stuff works on the stomach because they increase your digestive juices. And while they're increasing your digestive juices, they are causing positive things to happen in the earth, which we call the stomach. That's number 1. Number 2, they are also used for people who are taking cancer treatment like cisplatin and Taxol and all these other drugs that cause you to lose your appetite. We give you bitters to increase your appetite so that your chemo don't damage your cells in your stomach walls. All right? That's why bitters are important. You have cooling bitters. Don't forget we go back to school again today. You have cooling bitters and you have warming bitters. Don't forget, cooling bitters drop acid, warming bitters bring it up. Don't forget, orange peel is a cooling bitter, turmeric is a warming bitter. Don't forget the names now. All right, so you can learn. So the bitters works on the stomach, and they also work on your intestines. All right, if there's trouble in the earth. And then you have the pungent. That's another flavor again. And the pungent is like onions and garlic and leeks. You know what I mean? All these food are pungent foods, and they work on where? On the lungs. And then you have the salty flavor, and the salty flavor goes down and in. So when you have too much salt or sodium in your diet, and it is inorganic, that flavor goes down and into your joints and cause you to have arthritis long term, because it starts eating up your cartilage, or it gives you troubles in your arteries, cause your arteries to be hard long term, or cause you to have varicose veins, because the salty flavor goes down and in. All right? Hope you learn about the flavors. Now pass it on to somebody else. Each one teach one. All right? I might not be around for a little while. You know them people stay. They poison all them herbalists and all them alternative doctors now. You're laughing. They poison enough of me, but I don't eat from them, so they can't poison me easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I tell you what's going on. Now, parasites. You have the roundworm. You have the pinworm, which affects a lot of children, especially babies. And we're going to teach about babies now, how to get rid of worms in babies. And you have the tapeworm. You have the threadworm. Don't forget, roundworm. Now this worm here, the protozoa roundworm, This worm causes you to get a brain tumor because sometimes it don't only live in your intestines, it moves into the bloodstream and get into your brain and cause you to get tumors. And lots of people who have tumors in their brain is because they have a worm infestation in the intestines and cause the worm to go into the brain. Let them say I'm crazy too, like Trevor says. Wrong worm causes tumors in your brain. All right? And you have wise doctors who knows about that too, not only me alone. So I guess they're crazy too. Pinworms, which affect a lot of children. Tapeworms, threadworms. Pokeworm. You see the pokeworm? That's the worst worm in all of them. Eh? The Taina solium worm, that species of the worm in the pork is the most detrimental to your intestines. Why? Because come over here. When this worm over here, this worm from the pork, when he comes inside here, he sticks on your intestines and he pulls it and he grabs onto it. So it's very difficult to get rid of him because of how he hangs on to your intestinal walls. So we use a special technique to remove him from your intestines. We could either wash him out by doing a colonic. We could either wash him out by doing a enema, or we can kill him. And when we kill him, we can move him out. We're going to tell you how to kill them, right? But when he comes in here, the pokeworm that is, and he hooks on your intestines, and you don't have good digestive health, he will start to move and multiply and go into your brain and cause you to get a brain tumor. Or he goes into your heart and cause you to have a worm attack. You know what a worm attack is? We talk about no heart attack today. We're talking about a worm attack. Because a heart attack is a worm attack. The worm attack your heart. You get a heart attack from the worm. From the pokeworm. Let them know that. Come back over here. I just want to get my people healthy. That's all I'm concerned about. I ain't concerned about no money. I want to get all your well, stay healthy, follow our program. I'm following it. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the horseworm. And the horseworm is called a bloodworm. The bloodworm comes from the horses. And if you are seeing about horses, you can get this particular worm. The bloodworm that is. And this worm sucks your blood and give you anemia long term. Then you have the hookworm. And the hookworm is they act like the pokeworm with a hook. They have a hook like that. See? And when they hook in when they're coming down in your intestine, they hook on the walls and make you deplete all your nutrients. You start losing weight. You start getting nauseated feeling. You start to feel like you want to vomit. And all these are a problem that worms cause in our bodies. Okay? And then you have the cestodia worms. Don't forget the names now. You have the cestodia worms. You have the nematoda worms. You have the protozoa, the protozoa worm. These are the wrong worm. And then you have the what? The trematoda worms, which we call the flat, F-L-A-T, flatworms. They all are wrong. And they all could infest humans. So you know what I mean? So don't think that you're infallible. You could get worm infestations. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to teach you now how to remove the worms out of the body. Naturally. Next one. Symptoms of worm infestation. Symptoms of worm infestation. Now, all the symptoms you're going to mention do not have to be from worms. It could be from something else. But those are symptoms that we get when you are infested with different type of worms. All right? Now, rashes on the skin. That could be a sign that you have a parasitic infection. Gas. Gas alone sometimes is caused by too much bacteria in your belly that cause worms to multiply and cause you to get bloated and cause you to have a lot of gas. And then some of us try to use herbs and use Pepto-Bismol and the gas don't go away. And that's because you have an infestation of parasites or worms. A fever. A worm can give you a fever if the worm starts to affect the endocrine system and the hypothalamus gland. Because of the worm infestation, try its best to raise your temperature to keep the infestation at a limitation. Let them know that too. All right? Let them ask me, like, where do you get your diploma from to talk about worm infestation? I don't have to talk about that. You know what I mean? We live in the Caribbean. We used to do the worming from ever since I'm a baby. All right? A next symptom of worm infestation is coughing. And some people have a cough that don't go away at all, period. It don't. You cough all day, cough all night. You have a worm in your lung. You have to kill it with herbs. Anemia. That's another symptom of worm infestation. Fatigue. Lots of women, lots of men complain of being fatigued. Sometimes it's your endocrine glands. Sometimes it's your liver. Sometimes it's part of the endocrine system called the thyroid gland that is underactive. But it can be from worm infestation also. Fatigue. Weakness. Weakness is another symptom of worm infestation. We are going very slow, and I'm talking pretty slow today. I ain't talking fast. Chills. You start to feel chilly. It don't have to be from worm infestation, but it can be. You have a lot of worms in your body, and it starts affecting the blood. Insomnia. Some people cannot sleep because of worm infestation. Not because of menopause only. Not because of anxiety and depression you can't sleep. Because sometimes when you have depression, you have worm infestation that is causing you to have depression and anxiety because it starts to affect your glands. So you get insomnia because the glands don't work properly. So your nervous system is being affected. Your central nervous system, your autonomic nervous system is being affected. And you start to have troubles in the nerves, and now you can't sleep because of worm infestation. So insomnia do not only come from menopause. It also could come from worm infestation. And if you don't clean your house from them parasites, your insomnia will never go away. You can take Valiums, you can take valerian, you can take passion flower, you can take chamomile, you can take all of them. But if you don't clean the house of the worms, your insomnia will never go away because you're not going to the cause of it. And that's how you fix things, by finding the cause of the problem and then you fix it. Because if you don't find the cause, you can never fix nothing. Stomach ache. When your baby or your toddler have belly ache, a tummy ache, it could be a sign that they have worm infestation. Don't forget. Constipation. If the worms, come over here again. I want you to come right over here. You see where it says worm? Come over here. Where it say over there? See there?
Yeah.
What is it there?
It says region of worms.
Region of worms. In the cecum. The cecum is over here. If I can see the cecum is here. Your ileocecal valve. When you don't keep your ileocecal valve healthy, and your ileocecal valve don't close when you have waste coming in here, and you're not going to the bathroom properly, and you have the waste being putrefied in here, and you have your appendix, which is a watchman on your tower looking for the waste coming back to go back into the small intestines, because now your ileocecal valve is closed. When the waste come over here, your appendix, which is part of the white blood cell system, will release a fluid to neutralize the waste that is coming back. That is good, but the problem is the waste could come back and infest the appendix and give you or cause you to have appendicitis, number one, or it could come over here and stick right over here and cause you to have a lesion or region of worms in this particular area, which will affect what? Which will affect what? Your cecum, and which will affect what? Your ileocecal valve. And once your ileocecal valve is affected and cannot close properly because of worm infestation around here, you will get troubles in your gallbladder. you will get gallbladder congestion, and you will lose your gallbladder to gallstones because your ileocecal valve is not closing properly because you have a legion of worms sitting around your cecum, and you can get cancer here in your cecum, and then they will remove your cecum. Or your appendix, which is a security guard, a watchman on a tower, will be so infested with the waste that is coming back. And he is trying to protect you because they said to you in the anatomy books that this have no purpose. So God was all stupid, didn't know what he was doing, and he just take your appendix and chuck it inside here. He knew why. Because now they're telling you now it is part of the white blood cell system. You see what I'm saying? And we've been saying that since in the 60s and the 70s. So, if you have all the worms coming down here, sitting in here, and this little guy here, called your appendix, have to remove all these wastes by what? By trying to prevent the waste from coming back into the ileocecal valve, because it's closed now. Only waste in here, sewage system. Your appendix will become inflamed, and you will get appendicitis. And once you lose your appendix, you are more prone to getting cancer in your colon. Let them know that too. Let me say it again. If you lose your appendix because of a region of worms sitting in the cecum area, you can not only get cancer in the cecum area, but you can lose your appendix to the infestation of the worms because your appendix is tired and he keep on trying to save you, but you are messing him up on a regular basis, and then he give you what? An appendicitis. He bursts on you. And while he bursts, he releases that same fluid that's supposed to neutralize the waste that is coming back from this ascending colon back into the cecum, and he what? He bursts on you, and when you take him out, you are more prone to getting cancer in your colon. 56% of the people who lost their appendix came down with cancer in the colon. Let them big PhD boys do that. They want to teach you all nothing. Now, if you want to eat tomatoes, do not eat your tomatoes raw, because lots of people who lost their appendix had tomato seeds stuck in there. Do not eat tomatoes raw. Always lightly steam your tomatoes and remove the seeds out of the tomatoes, and or chew the seeds properly. And if you're going to eat any kind of fruit with seeds, okra seeds, papa seeds, guava seeds, make sure that they are chewed properly, because they can lodge in your appendix and cause you to get appendicitis also. Let them PhD boys do that. Come over here now, Doc. Wonderful. So let's look at some of the symptoms again. Insomnia, chills, stomach ache, constipation, bloating, and vomiting. Those are symptoms of worm infestation. Right? Treatment. Now, we use only a few herbs to kill parasites. Only a few herbs we use. Black walnut, quasar. This is a herb from Jamaica, quasar. Elecampane, wormwood. Black walnut, quasar, elecampane, wormwood. Clove, sweet honey, blessed thistle. Let me show you how to use them now. Now, this herb called elecampane is what we call an expectorant plant in herbal medicine. All right? I'm taking to school now. Now, if a parasite is lodged in your lung, we have to use plants that have what we call antiparasitic activity, but we can use the same herbs that have antiparasitic activity into the lungs. that have what we call an expectorant activity also, so we could expel the parasite from the lung and stop the coughing. We call it spasmodic coughing. So we're going to use this plant. Although it's good for parasite, it's good for the lungs, and it moves the parasite out of the lungs because it is what we call an expectorant plant. It makes you expel things. Don't forget now. Right? Let's go to the herbs. Go to the herbs. Quasar, black walnut, wormwood, elecampane, cloves, and cloves have eugenol, a chemical called eugenol, and that's the reason why when your mommy and your daddy used to make the pork in December, when all the Christmas time come and all this pork in December for, they're killing Christ. You understand? And he takes the cloves and he pushes it in the pork. Why do you think he pushes it in the pork? Because the pork are worms. And he knows that the cloves have eugenol and other chemicals that prevent the pork from manifesting the worms. So that's the reason why they put cloves in your food. It is called a food herb. So that when the food gets into your intestines, before the food can ferment and cause worms to come, or if they do come and they start to bite on the cloves, they can't survive because they die. And that is the reason why we call them food herbs. You put them in your food, cook with your cloves. That's the purpose of the cloves in your food, to kill parasites in your intestines. So those are the herbs we're going to use. Elecampane, wormwood, blessed thistle. And we mix them. We mix it. You can use a half an ounce. You can use an ounce of each plant because you're going to go for 7 days to kill the parasites. Black walnut. May I bring a teaspoon for me? Yes, baby. Yeah. And we're going to use these two herbs here differently. Why? Yeah, thank you, baby. And then you put a little Chinese plant in here. Because I said this, kill parasites too. And through their resins or their roots, remember that you have the leaves. We're supposed to put the elecampane in here because the elecampane is the root. See here? This one goes in here. Now, these are the leaves. This is the roots. Don't forget, you are in herbal medicine school. All right? Now, these here, you can take a half an ounce of the roots, because they're all roots, they have to be boiled. These have to be steeped or infused. We call it an infusion, or you brew it. So we take all the roots, and we take a half an ounce of the roots into what? Into a quarter or half a gallon of water. And you're going to take the water with the half an ounce of the roots, and you're going to put it on the fire, on a low fire, and simmer it for 20 minutes while the pot is covered. Now, while the pot is covered, all the compounds of this herb is going to release and get into the tea. And while you're doing that, you're looking at the stove, and when you finish in 20 minutes, if you use a half a gallon of water, you're supposed to get a quarter gallon of water with the herbs. Don't forget now, that's very significant. A half of gallon for 20 minutes under a low fire, supposed to give you a quarter gallon of herb tea when you're finished with these, the roots. Don't forget now. After the root is boiled, you're going to take a half an ounce of the leaves, and you're going to put it in your pot, with a quarter gallon of water. And you're going to cover it again for another 10 minutes. Don't forget, I'm talking pretty slow now. Some people don't follow directions. You're going to put a half an ounce of the leaves into the pot for another 10 minutes. You're going to cover it, and then you are going to drink 3 cups per day. Listen to me now. This is the most important part. Look over here. You are going to drink 3 cups per day of this anti-parasitic cleanse. 3 days before the full moon and 4 days after the full moon. Don't forget, 3 days before the full moon and 4 days after the full moon. Why 3 days before the full moon? Because before the full moon, 3 days before the full moon, the eggs are what? They are hatching. Where? Come over here, Chris. They are hatching inside your intestines. 3 days before the full moon, your eggs are hatching. 3 days before the full moon, the eggs are hatching in your intestines, and they are causing havoc in the digestive system. They're making you think you have a problem, so you run to the doctor, and they give you some antibiotics, and they give you some Zantac, and they give you some Ogastro, because you did not know that the eggs were hatching in your earth, in the digestive system, in your colon. So when they are hatching is when the moon is becoming full. So you have to kill the eggs and the worms at the same time. If you don't try to do a parasitic cleanse around the full moon, you will only kill the worms and you will never kill the eggs, and the worms won't come back at you with a vengeance like cancer does. So you must do it around the full moon. And after the 7th day, don't forget I said, what did I say? What did I say? How many days before the full moon? 3 days before the full moon. You're not learning. Pick it up, man. 3 days before the full moon and 4 days after the full moon. Again. After the 7th night, of your parasitic cleanse, you are going to drink a cup of cascara. Don't forget the name. A cup of cascara sagrada mixed with a herb called ginger to prevent the contraction of the muscles so you don't get bellyache. And you kill the parasite with these. But these only kill parasites. They don't expel them. So you don't want the parasites to stay in your belly dead. So you have to use some plants to contract the muscles and increase your peristalsis movement and expel them in your stool. After the 7th day, the 7th night, that's what you're going to do. And after that 7th night, and you expel the parasites, a lot of us have it. We all have parasites. You are going to put away 7 days, every 3 months. And you will do a parasitic cleanse. Your whole family, mother, father, children, auntie, living in the house, everybody should do it. Why? Because if you don't clean the whole house, give me a shake hand, and you don't clean the next person in the house, and the next person going to shake your hand, you get reinfested again.
Hey, go break man.
That's how fasting is. You know, when fasting gets you stronger, you will get reinfested. If you go and eat, or use a spoon from someone who was infected, you're going to get it back again. And that's the reason why you have to clean your whole house. And that's the reason why you must do it every 3 months. And after you do the parasitic cleanse, look at the herbs I'm going to use for me now. I'm going to use some plants that you can put in your foods to keep you healthy. Astragalus. Astragalus. This is a herb that you can put in your soup to keep the immune system healthy, to get rid of any kind of thing coming into the body to harm it. It builds the immune system. And if you want to fight any kind of disease, including parasitic infection, you must have good immunity. That's very significant. That's what I was trying to tell Trevor says yesterday. He didn't want to listen. Colenopsis. This is a form of ginseng, but this herb is used in case the parasites infected the glandular system, the endocrine system, especially the adrenal glands, and cause you to have anxiety and weakness. We will give you this herb to build back up your strength. Colenopsis, they call it. It's what we call a ginseng. It picks you up, but it do not overstimulate you. Okay? Don't forget. Danqui. All these foods should be put in your soup. So when you put your soup on the fire, about 2 to 3 minutes before you take it off, you throw these herbs in there, and they will keep you healthy. They will keep the immune system well. They will keep the endocrine system well. They will keep the blood moving, and they will keep a woman's reproductive system healthy also. I said this, a wonderful herb for parasites, but it also helps with keeping the earth system healthy. Don't forget now, this one here, this herb is very important for circulation. It moves things. All right? Don't forget salvia root. It moves things. And this herb is part of the mushroom family. It helps to build up the body and keep the body strong. Don't forget, all these herbs can be put in your soup before your soup is finished, after your parasitic cleanse, and it will build you up, build up the body and keep the body strong so that you can stay healthy. Huh? In that information, yes or no? Well, you're not answering now. Isn't that good information you all getting? Huh? Wonderful. Isn't that good information? Yeah, man. Everybody's saying, where you went to school? Where I went to school, that's not all your business. Where I went to school. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, ask Michael T where I went to school. Where you all want to ask them people go in your office where they went to school. The white man, you ask them that. I mean, everything is black people that ask black people that come in. When you been to school? Where's your medical degree? What medical degree? All the medical degree people that have, what they do? They don't fix nothing. Huh? Did Jesus Christ have a medical degree? He was a carpenter, wasn't he? Okay. Wonderful. Did the Christ?
They want to know it again, the herbs and them.
Ambrosia.
And they asking you if you could list the herbs for them again. Because
all right. Wonderful.
Apparently, they would have to go and watch the whole video again. So you just have to just say it one more time so they can get it.
The herbs for the parasite, infection to remove them, cloves, black walnut, elecampane, quasar, sweet honey. You can use all those. It's 5 herbs will work for any kind of parasite. Don't forget, black walnut, wormwood, cloves, quasar, elecampane, blessed thistle. You can use 6, you can use 5. But the 3 main plants there is black walnut, wormwood, and cloves. And you can add the herb from Jamaica called quasar, sweet honey, or garlic. You can use garlic because garlic is pungent. And these are the herbs you can use. If you need me to mark them down under the post, I will do that after the post, and you can follow them. All right? Understand? Now, don't forget. Okay, now we almost done. A couple questions.
With a sign, with a spelling,
With the herbs?
the list of words with
Of
the
the
spelling.
herbs?
Yeah.
You want to know about the herbs?
Mm.
Okay. We are there, bitters, chills, oak, got them here? Cloves, sweet honey.
So that is the first one.
Yeah. Huh?
Sweet Annie.
Sweet honey, cloves,
Cloves,
blessed thistle, black walnut.
Wait, you're going too fast.
Okay, put them
Give
together.
them a moment so they can
All
really
right.
see the spelling.
Wonderful. See, I giving all your real time, eh? I giving you all real time.
So this is the first one. Okay.
Yeah, cloves, sweet honey, blessed thistle,
So,
and then you have black walnut, quasar, campaign, wormwood. Did you all get everything now? I don't want all your bugging mouth. You know it's a love anyway. Yeah. I want all your bugging mouth. So all you get everything now, Mark, and say yes, 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 yes. Yes, Patrick does. Wonderful. It's the love.
so is there any more?
No, that's it. That's the herb they gotta use.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
for the detoxification.
That's for the parasitic cleanse.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
the worms. Please write
Okay. All right.
it. Okay.
Love and share. Don't forget.
The herbs here.
No, this is the herb that they're ready.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
what they are.
Right. And don't forget. Don't forget. Don't forget. You have to boil the roots, and you have to infuse the flowers and the leaves because they float. Don't forget that. So you're going to boil the roots first, and then you're going to put all the leaves into the pot after the roots are boiled for another 10 minutes, and you're going to have 3 cups per day. No sugar is allowed. So you're killing parasites. Parasites love sugars. So no sugars, not even fruits, should be eaten while you are on the parasitic cleanse. All right, don't forget that. That's the only way you're going to kill parasites now. Did you all get everything? I want to go and hang out. All right, dude. Any herb for hair growth? You got to use a lot of horsetail and another herb called comfrey. And you can use a lot of cucumbers. They are very good for hair growth, okay?
Can you list the one for after the 7 days? Isn't this it?
Yes, I'm going to write the instructions after so people could get some of the herbs, okay? If you didn't get it over here now. Yeah? Wonderful. No sugar, yes. No sugar while you are doing a parasitic cleanse. No sugars while you are doing a yeast cleanse. Because yeast, like sugars, fungus love sugars, and parasites love sugars. So you have to starve them and kill them. Don't forget that. And don't forget, you must do the cleanse 3 days before the full moon and 4 days after the full moon to kill the eggs. While the eggs are hatching, you can kill the eggs and kill the parasites at the same time. Okay? Don't do a parasitic cleanse during the full moon. Always do it 3 days before the full moon and 4 days after the full moon. Don't forget now. All right? Wonderful. Did you all get everything? Yes. Blessed. I want people to learn, man. We getting too sick. We Caribbean people. We going on in America and England and coming with cancer. How come? And we grew up on all these ground foods. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Ah. You don't even know. You got that? Wonderful. You got to go. I want to thank everybody for watching. And there is much more information for us to give. Because God gave me wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Wisdom. And with wisdom comes lots of things. I don't ask him for riches. I don't ask him for riches. All I ask God for is for wisdom, knowledge, Father, so I could pass it on to my people and they could learn. You know what I mean? They can learn and they can pass it on to somebody else. Because wisdom can give you riches.
Peace be unto you.
Peace be unto everybody.
I'm taking it.
But when you have wisdom and you gain riches, with the wisdom that you have, you can distribute the riches to people who are not as fortunate as you are. That is what wisdom is all about. Wisdom is not being selfish and having 7 cars in front of your house while a man have none. That's not wisdom. That's greed. But when you ask the Most High for wisdom and He give it to you, you use that wisdom. If he, the Most High, give you or allow you to have riches like He did to Job, you have to use your wisdom now to use your riches that you have to help other people. And that's from my heart, man. I mean, blessed love. And don't forget to love your neighbor as yourself and look out for the man on the street. And don't thumb your nose at the garbage collector, and don't thumb your nose at the Drake, because it could be an angel. Because the same garbage collector you want to turn your nose at, he's the one to keep your streets clean. And if he strikes on you, you will get a disease. So don't turn your nose down on nobody. Because what? The rich man, the man who washed the glasses of the vehicle, the man in the jacket and tie, is the same man. You understand? We all go to the same place. Blessed love. And don't forget, we are moving, going to the Bahamas. We are going to Tortola. We are going to St. Thomas. We are going to Dominica. We're going all over and spread the word of health to our people, because Caribbean people, we are getting sick. Why? Because we start to incorporate another man's diet. Because all our supermarkets is full of imported foods. So if you're importing your foods, you will import another man's disease. It's just a common sense thing. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand these basic principles. Grenada is full of cancers. Trinidad is full of cancers. St. Lucia full of cancers. St. Vincent full of cancers. Dominica full of cancers. Jamaica full of cancers. Guyana full of cancers. How come they're full of cancers? Because they move from the original diet and goes to another man's diet, and then they get the next man's disease. And then the man comes and says there's no cure. We can't cure nothing. Christ cured her. He was a carpenter. Did he have a degree? I don't know. I don't think so. But he cured people from wisdom. And using what? Nature. So nature is your cure. You go back to nature, and you go to nature, and you make your body deal with nature naturally. And once your body is balanced back, in the whole body is balanced with nature, with the herbs from nature, balance you back, you will fix your disease, because your body heals itself. You understand? Don't give no man the glory. Give Jehovah God all the glory, because He is the ultimate healer of all things. You won't get some glory too after the Most High. You understand? Blessed love and thanks for watching. And don't forget that we teach in love, and I want people to understand also that I have lots of people that is messaging me, and we're trying to get our sisters to help us with the messages. So don't feel I am selfish. It's going to take me some time to answer everybody, because thousands and thousands of people. I have over 89,000 followers. So you have to understand. And I run a clinic in Grenada. I run a clinic from 10 to 5. So I might not answer your call, but keep calling. You might call. You might catch me earlier in the morning between the hours of 7 and 10, and between the hours of 6 and 9. Okay? Please be patient. We will get back to you. Give Jehovah God all the glory, and don't give no glory to no man. Dig it. Blessed love. All right. Baby.
Touch it. Touch it. Touch this.
What?
Touch this.
Yeah. Love you. Love man. Bless. Oh, let me tell something again. And before we leave, come. Hey. what did I mention this? If you have a young baby, don't forget before we leave, if you have a young baby and the baby is constipated, and a lot of the time the babies have infestation of worms. If the baby cannot go to the bathroom and the baby is constipated, you're going to take a Q-tip for me, and you're going to put some olive oil or some coconut oil on the Q-tip, and you're going to tickle the baby bottom with that. See the baby bottom right there? You're going to put a Q-tip with some olive oil or some coconut oil, and you're going to put it in the baby bottom. You're going to tickle the baby bottom for me, and then you're going to see a lot of worms coming out with fecal matter. And that is the way you get rid of worms in babies. Don't forget the toddlers, because they can't take herbs to move the bowels. So you can get a Q-tip, don't forget. Don't push a Q-tip into the baby's bottom, the anus, but you can just put it right in the front of the anus and tickle the bottom, and you're going to see all the worms start to come out, okay? Don't forget. Blessed love. Give thanks to the Most High.